the Miami Heat. And coaching for the Eagles, John Stakura and Chuck Heddy. The Eagles have not lost a game this year. Coming into tonight's championship game, they beat the Bullets earlier today by the score of 39-23. And they're taking on the Miami Heat, coached by Dave Ravelette. Dave has Chris Anderson, Mike Lane, Mark Hendricks, Jordan Scott, Norman Bolin, Ted Knowlton, and Justin Lowe on his team. And they beat the Celtics this afternoon in a kind of a surprise victory, 34-28. So it's the Miami Heat and the Eagles in tonight's championship game of the 5th and 6th grade YMCA Co-Ed Basketball League. This is Dan Ravelette, and I wanted to run the lineups for you. For the Eagles also, as I mentioned, they're coached by John Stakura and Chuck Heddy. Eric Ravelette, Andy Stakura, Chaz Hendricks, John Hayden, Charles Heddy, Shane Cooper, Troy Woodall, and Andy Dennison. In this afternoon's ball game, Eric Ravelette had 7 points. Andy Stakura had 6. Charles Hendricks led the team with 13 points in the victory over the Bullets. John Hayden with 2 points. Also, Charles Heddy added 2. Shane Cooper chipped in 7. And Troy Woodall also had 2 points on the afternoon. The game you just saw was a very, very close ball game. And that came out with the winner of the 3rd and 4th grade being the Evansville Aces. They defeated the Bulldogs by the score of 38-35 in the 3rd and 4th grade YMCA Co-Ed Basketball Championship game. Both teams now out on the floor warming up, getting ready for tonight's contest. Dressed in the black would be the Eagles, and in the red uniforms, the Miami Heat. Just about set for the action in tonight's final game, the championship game of the 5th and 6th grade YMCA Co-Ed Basketball League here at the YMCA. We'll put the Eagles against the Miami Heat. And the Eagles, coached by John Stakura and Chuck Heddy, across the court on the right side in the black uniforms. And the Miami Heat, coached by Dave Ravelette, on the left side of the floor in the red uniform. And the lineup for the Miami Heat, again, Chris Anderson, Mike Lane, Mark Hendricks, Jordan Scott, Norm Bolin, Ted Knowlton, and Justin Lowe. Anderson and Hendricks, Scott, Bolin, and Lowe are all 6th graders. And in the 5th grade, Mike Lane and Ted Knowlton. And the Heat on the left out there warming up. And the Eagles on the right getting final instructions from their coach, Charles Heddy, Chuck Heddy, and John Stakura. There's the buzzer for some action. As I mentioned before, the Eagles handily beat the Bullets this afternoon earlier, 39-23, and the Miami Heat surprised the Celtics by the score of 34-28. I have a little helper here this afternoon. It's been a great help to me. Christopher Todd, I want to thank you for all your help. He's been our statistician, and he just went and got me a drink, so I appreciate his help. Just about underway for the championship game. YMCA Co-Ed Basketball, 5th and 6th graders. As we see on the floor for the Heat, Justin Lowe. There'll be one starter. Mark Hendricks, another starter. And also Norman Bolin is out there for the Heat, along with Mike Lane. As the Eagles come onto the floor, we'll set them for you. It'll be Charles Heddy at center, jumping for the Eagles. Andy Stakura, Eric Ravelette, Shane Cooper for the Eagles, and matching up now. 5th and 6th graders getting ready to take off in this championship ball game. Also on the floor, John Hayden for the Eagles. As we're ready to get the ball game underway, the officials talking to the players. Ball's in the air, game's underway, controlled by the Heat. They pass off to Mike Lane. Lane and right side to Justin Lowe. Lowe baseline, takes it all the way, puts it up, no good. Rebound fought for, finally pulled down by Hendricks. Long pass down court to Sakura. Andy across court to John Hyden. Up, no good. Rebound pulled back down by the Heat. Down the floor comes the Heat. No score in the ball game. Just underway as the Heat crosses the timeline with the ball. That's Norman Bolin. Bolin passes left side to Mike Lane. Lane with the ball on the dribble. Guarded by Cooper. Almost has it taken away by Cooper. Picked up by Lane. Now down low. Pass thrown out of bounds. And it'll go over to the Eagles. Shane Cooper gets the ball inbounds now to Andy Stakura. Stakura across the timeline. Right at center court. Calls out play number 1. Here we go. Pass goes right side now to Hyden. Hyden cross court to Cooper. Cooper shot up. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Heat. Still no score in the ball game. 1 minute has ticked off as Justin Lowe handles the ball now for the Heat. Gives it off to Norman Bolin. Bolin to Lowe. Left side in the wing. Lowe takes it in the lane himself. Loses control of the ball. Picked up by Hyden. John Hyden has control of the ball. He's double teaming the backcourt. Gives it off to Charles Heddy. Heddy across the timeline now. Stops at the free throw line. Passes down low to Ravelette. Eric puts the ball up and good. Eric Ravelette scores the first points of the afternoon. A 2-0 lead by the Eagles. And the Eagles are noted as the guests in this contest. As the Heat tries to bring the ball down court under full court pressure, gets it to Lowe. Justin turns around, passes over to Bolin. Bolin crosses the timeline. Now brings it back out. Gives it to Justin Lowe. Lowe over to Mike Lane. Lane left side. Tries to penetrate. Can't do it. Picks up the ball. Passes back out to Bolin. Bolin with the ball to Lane now. Lane long shot. Left side. No good. Rebound pulled down by Bolin. Back up and no good. Rebound pulled down by Heddy. Charles Heddy for the Eagles. Heddy down court with the ball. On the dribble. Crosses the timeline. Across to Shane Cooper. Cooper to Stakura. And he puts the ball up and no good. Rebound pulled down by the Heat. And that's Norman Bolin with the ball. Gives it off to Justin Lowe. Justin brings the ball down court by himself. Crosses the center stripe. 3:35 to go in the first quarter. 2-point lead. 2-0 by the Eagles. As the Heat has the ball. Bolin with the ball. Left side in the wing. Puts it up. He's fouled. Ball won't go, but he's fouled. And the foul will be called on Eric Ravelette. That's the first foul of the contest with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Eagles on top by 2. 2-0. And that'll put Norm Bolin at the line. First time anyone's been at the line this afternoon. As we have a little timeout to get some children off the playing floor with a Corvette. A toy Corvette, that is. Norm Bolin, a 6th grader, is at the free throw stripe for the Miami Heat. Official hands him the ball, eyes the bucket, lets it fly. It's good. First points of the afternoon for the Heat, scored by Norm Bolin. Has the ball again, ready to let it fly. Looks at the bucket, lets it go. And it's also good. So we have a tie ball game, 2 apiece with 3.5 to go. Eddie gets the ball in now to Stakura. And he crosses the timeline, goes right side now, still on the dribble baseline. Passes it down to Ravelette. Eric tries to put it up. He does, and he's fouled. And the basket, I believe, will count. We'll have to wait and see. The official has not indicated yet. No, the basket does not count. He says he gets 2 shots. So Eric Ravelette will be at the free throw stripe. 3:20 to go in the first quarter. And the score still tied at 2. Ravelette eyes the bucket, puts it up. It's good. 1 for 1 from the free throw stripe. And Ravelette was fouled in the process of shooting, so he'll have another shot. Eagles on top by 1, 3-2. Eric had 7 points this afternoon in the contest against the Bullets. We'll have a little discussion here as to what the official called, whether Eric was actually in the process of active shooting when he was fouled, or whether the basket did count. So that will negate the free throw and give him a field goal. So should be 4-2. 4-2 on with 3:09 to go in the first quarter. Shot up, no good by the Heat. Rebound pulled down by Justin Lowe. Back up and no good. Rebound pulled down by Chaz Hendricks. Entered the ball game for the Eagles. Gives off to Shane Cooper. Cooper across the timeline on the far side. Pulls it up now in the wing. Passes out to Andy Stakura. Stakura sets it up. Comes left side now. Picks up the dribble. Gives off to Eric Ravelette in the wing left side. Ravelette to Stakura, but it goes over his head to Cooper. Cooper takes it on the right side. Baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound, fought for, and finally pulled down by Hendricks. Hetty, Charles Hetty. Puts the rebound down and ball back up and in. Scoreboard shows 7-2. The Eagles on top of the Heat as the Heat brings the ball down court, almost has it taken away, given off to Lowe. Now Justin Lowe with the ball. Back on the right side to Mike Lane. Lane approaches the lane. He's in the lane now, tries to put it up and loses control, passes down low. Put up, and it's no good. Rolls off the rim, pulled down by Chaz Hendricks. Given off to Hetty. Long pass down court to Ravelette. Eric all alone. Now has some company, puts it up and good. Eric Ravelette has his 6th point of the ball game, the 7th point of the ball game, and it's a 9-2 lead. The Eagles over the Heat. As the Eagles put on full court pressure, the Heat trying to get it down court. The Jordan Scott with the ball trying to get rid of it. He finally does. Gets it out to Lane. Lane across the timeline. Right side, puts it up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Hendricks. Mark Hendricks has it almost taken away. Now gets it off to Lowe. Justin puts it down low. Underneath, ball is up and good by the Heat. And that was Norman Bolin with the bucket. 9-4, a 5-point Eagle lead with 1:15 to go in the first quarter. Secure with the ball for the Eagles. Down low to, let me check that. I believe that was Chaz Hendricks with the shot. Hendricks has the bucket. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. 11-4, a 7-point Eagles lead. Ball almost taken away by Cooper of the Eagles. A jump ball, and we'll see what the possession rule says. Dual possession gives over to the Eagles, who have a 7-point lead. 11-4 with 53 seconds to go in the first quarter here in the championship game of the 5th and 6th grade YMCA Co-Ed Basketball Championship. And more substitutions coming in now for the Eagles. Troy Woodall and John Hayden come in for the Eagles, as Shane Cooper and Charles Hetty get a rest. Chaz Hendricks gets it in to Hayden. Hayden, long shot, left side, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Heat. Pass goes off to Mike Lane. Lane crosses the timeline. Gives over to Lowe. Justin Lowe, top of the key, at the free throw line, in the lane, puts it up. Good. Nice drive by Justin Lowe. Picks up his first bucket of the afternoon. 11-6, a 5-point Eagles lead. 1.5 minute to go in the first quarter. Here comes Stakura across the timeline for the Eagles. Passes off right side to Hayden. Hayden back to Stakura. Andy to Hayden. Hayden baseline right, wants to shoot, doesn't. Gets it underneath. Now to Hendricks. He shoots, he scores. 13-6. Eagles have a 7-point lead with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Eagles guarding, trying to get it across the timeline is the Heat. He does to Justin Lowe. Justin down low to number 3. Shot up, no good. Rebound on the left side. Shot up and good by Mark Hendricks. So that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Eagles 13 and the Miami Heat 8. In that first quarter, we had Eric Ravelette with 7 points. Andy Stakura played a good defensive game, did not score in the first quarter. Chaz Hendricks had 4 points, and Charles Hetty added the extra 2. So Ravelette with 7, Hendricks with 4, and Hetty with 2, giving the Eagles 13 in the first quarter. For the Heat, it was Mark Hendricks with 2 points from the field. Norm Bowen also had 2 points from the field. And Justin Lowe had 2 points from the field. Norm Bowen also had 2 points from the free throw stripe. So that accounts for the 8 points for the Miami Heat. So at the end of the first quarter, in the 5th and 6th grade championship game here at the YMCA Co-Ed basketball tourney, the Eagles on top of Miami, 13-8. Buzzer sounds for a second quarter action as both teams get ready to come back out on the floor. The Heat in red, I see Justin Lowe and Mark Hendricks, Ted Nolting, Chris Anderson, and it'll be the Heat ball out. Norman Bolin also back in there for the Heat. And for the Eagles, it'll be Chaz Hendricks, Stakura, Ravelette, and we have Ravelette's taking a breather right now. Anyway, the Heat with the ball, drives toward the bucket, puts it up, no good. Rebound pulled down by John Hayden. Hayden with the ball, gets it out to Stakura, almost taken away there. Andy has the ball all the way down the court, passes down low, off the fingertips, and out of bounds. Fingertips of Charles Hendricks. Chaz Hendricks let the ball. It was a rather hard thrown ball, so it was easy to get off the fingertips. Here come the Heat now down the floor lane, being guarded by Secura. Gets it across the timeline. Now that's Norm Bolin. Bolin now passes out of bounds off the hands of Chris Anderson. And the buzzer, 13-8. The score, 5:10 to go in the first half. Eagles on top of the Heat. Secura tries to get the ball inbounds to Woodall, but instead it comes in to Andy Dennison. Dennison back to Secura. Andy across the timeline. Left side, takes it all the way down to the baseline. Left still on the dribble. Pulls it up, back out to John Hayden. Hayden left side in the wing. Sets up play number 1. And here we go. Secura left side, out front. Andy with the ball in the lane to Woodall. Woodall takes it right side, passes it back. Dennison. Dennison fires baseline right. No good, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Hendricks. Chaz double team, back up, and won't go, but he's fouled. Chaz Hendricks fouled by Mike Lane. 13-8, a 5-point Eagle lead with 4:33 to go in the first half. Hendricks at the line for the Eagles. He'll be shooting 2, fouled in the act of shooting. Hendricks has 4 points so far, both of them from the field. He scored 13 points in this afternoon's game. First shot up off the rim, no good. He scored 13 against the Bullets this afternoon in the 39-23 victory. Hendricks eyes the bucket again. Lets it go, and it's in this time. 14-8 is our score. As the Heat gets it in, Justin Lowe now with the ball for Miami Heat. Tries to take it across the timeline himself. No, he passes back in the backcourt to Mike Lane, or Norman Bolin. Norman now gets the ball up to Jordan Scott. Scott on the right side. Passes cross court to Justin Lowe. Lowe knocks it down, picks it up, gives it over to Lane. Lane on the right side of the court. Wants to take the shot, doesn't do it. Working position. Gets back to Norm Bolin. Bolin goes left now, back to the right, stops at the free throw stripe. Down low it goes to Anderson. Chris's shot up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Chaz Hendricks for the Eagles. Passes off to Secura. Andy almost has the ball taken away by Justin Lowe. Gets it down court to Andy Dennison. Dennison long shot, right side, no good, won't go. Rebound, Hayden. John back up, no good. Rebound pulled down and back up by Dennison, but Dennison is fouled by Justin Lowe. With 3:40 to go in the first half. The Eagles have a 6-point lead, 14-8. And who's going to be at the free throw stripe? Nobody wants to shoot. I guess Dennison, Andy will be up there. Andy hasn't been in the ball, hasn't scored the ball game yet. This is his first chance. He'll be shooting 2. First shot is up and good. Dennison adds to the Eagles' lead, 15-8 now, with 3:40 to go in the first half. Andy's second shot up and also good. 2 for 2 from the free throw stripe. 16-8, an 8-point lead now for the Eagles over the Heat. Here they come down the court. Almost has the ball taken away, but Norman Bolin gets it across the timeline. Still handles the ball at the free throw stripe. Back to Justin Lowe, top of the key. Lowe goes right side, almost taken away. It is taken away now, and it goes out of bounds. Nice try there by Jordan Scott, but Chaz Hendricks almost took it away, knocked it out of bounds. 3:19 to go in the first half. An 8-point Eagle lead. Justin Lowe to inbound the ball for the Heat. Tries to get it in. He gets it in, almost knocked back out of bounds by Hendricks, though. Again, it'll be the Heat ball. Lowe with the ball, trying to get it in. He does. To Norman Bolin. Bolin has the ball between the circles, goes right side to Lowe. Justin in the wing on the right side, back to Bolin. Bolin tries to drive around Secura. Looks underneath, gets a pass in the lane underneath. Shot is up and good. Nice shot by Mark Hendricks on a nice pass from Bolin. 16-10, a 6-point lead now. Here come the Eagles. As Woodall takes it all the way down court, loses control of the ball, goes out of bounds, and hits the wall. It'll go over to the Miami Heat. 2:33 to go in the first half, a 6-point Eagle lead. At the end of the first period, it was a 13-8 Eagle lead. Justin Lowe to inbound the ball for the Heat. Tries to get it in. He does. To Bolin. Bolin crosses the timeline on the far side, guarded by Secura. Andy picks him up. Bolin turns around, gets ready to shoot, wants to shoot, and he does. No good. Rebound by Hendricks. Chaz Hendricks with the ball, guarded by Justin Lowe. Gets it off to Andy Secura in the backcourt. Secura crosses the timeline on the left side. Gets it off to Hendricks. Chaz in the right left side of the lane, puts it up, in and out, and back, in, out, no good. Rebound back up by Dennison, and good. Andy has his first bucket from the field. He has 4 points on the afternoon. It's a 18 to 10 lead, and here come three more Eagles ready to substitute. But here come the Heat down the floor. That's Mike Lane with the ball. Puts it up, right side, won't go, no good. Rebound pulled down by Woodall. He's off to the races, but he's fouled in the process. And here comes Eric Ravelette, Shane Cooper, and Charles Hetty into the lineup for the Eagles. 1:49 to go in this first half. 18 to 10 lead. Eagles over the Heat in this championship game of the 5th and 6th grade division. Shane Cooper to inbound the ball for the Eagles. Gets it in to Troy Woodall. Woodall has it on the far side. Down low. It goes to Dennison. He puts it up, won't go. Ravelette back up left side, won't go. Ball loose, picked up again by Hetty. Back up, won't go. Rebound, Cooper back up, won't go. Rebound finally pulled down by the Heat. Kicked out, stolen by Dennison. Dennison to Ravelette. Ravelette right side, puts it up. It's good. In and out. A lot of ball maneuvering there. 1:24 to go in the first half. A 10-point Eagle lead as Lowe gets it in. Long pass down court. The Heat, nice shot up and in by Chris Anderson. Anderson cuts the lead to 8. 1:10 to go in the first half. Woodall crosses the timeline. Far side for the Eagles. Gives it off to Hetty. Charles underneath to Ravelette. Saves it back out to Woodall. Woodall puts it up. It won't go, but he's fouled in the process. And a foul called on Mark Hendricks. Or number 1, that'll be Justin Lowe. Less than a minute to go now in the first half. An 8-point Eagle lead. Troy Woodall at the line. He hasn't scored yet from the afternoon, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Eagles have. Ravelette has 9. Chaz Hendricks has 4, or 5 rather. Charles Hetty with 2. Andy Dennison with 4. Woodall at the line. And he'll be shooting 2. Troy at 2 points this afternoon. First one up, no good, won't go. And he'll have another try at it. Woodall had 2 points this afternoon, and he has in and out, no good. Rebound pulled down by Dennison. Back up, Andy, no good. Rebound, Hetty on the right side. It's good. Charles Hetty, the rebound and a point. It's his 4th point of the afternoon. It's a 22-12 lead for the Eagles. Here come the Heat down the floor. Crossing the timeline on the far side. Bolin has it taken away, almost taken away. It's tied up now. Cooper and Ted Nolting. And it'll be the Heat ball with 38 seconds to go in the first half. Heat with a 10-point lead, 22-12. Troy Woodall to take the ball out of bounds. Under the Heat basket, gets it in to Hetty. Charles Hetty takes the ball down court himself. Dribbles around a couple of Heat players down low. Tries to get it to Dennison, doesn't, but he picks it back up himself. Lets it go. Rebound, fought for, pulled down now by Woodall. Or rather, Cooper. Cooper back up and good. Shane Cooper has his first bucket of the afternoon. A 12-point lead now with 15 seconds to go in the first half. Here come the Heat down the floor. It's Jordan Scott with the ball. Has it almost taken away. It's loose, picked up now by Dennison. Andy with the ball. 9 seconds in the first half. Dennison taking the ball all the way down court. Lays it up right side. It's good. Nice move by Andy Dennison to pick up his 4th or 6th bucket. 6th point of the first half. And that's the end of the first half with the score. The Eagles 26 and the Miami Heat 12. Recapping the score in the first half, Eric Ravelette had 9 points for the Eagles. Of course, they're coached by John Secure and Chuck Hetty. Chaz Hendricks had 4 points, and rather 4 points from the field and 1 point from the free throw stripe for a total of 5 points in the first half. Charles Hetty with 4. Well-balanced scoring attack here by the Eagles. Shane Cooper with 2 points. That came late in the first half. Troy Woodall hasn't scored. He's played a very good defensive ball game. Andy Dennison coming on strong. He picks up a total of 4 points in the first half. So for the Eagles, it's Eric Ravelette with 9. Chaz Hendricks with 5. Charles Hetty with 4. Shane Cooper 2. And Andy Dennison with 4. So 6, 10, 15, 26 points for the Eagles. Now for the Miami Heat, it's Chris Anderson with 2 points. Mark Hendricks had 4 points. And Norman Bolin, 2 points from the field and 2 points from the free throw stripe, so that gives him a total of 4 points. And Justin Lowe has 1 bucket from the field for a total of 2 points. So the halftime score here at the 5th and 6th grade YMCA co-ed basketball game. The Eagles over the Heat by 14, 26-12. About to get underway here at the championship game at the YMCA co-ed basketball tourney, the 5th and 6th grade division between the Eagles and the Miami Heat. The Eagles have the lead now 26-12 in the first half. Eagles are coached by John Stacura and Chuck Heddy, and the Miami Heat coached by Dave Ravelette. I'm Dan Ravelette. And 26-12 is our score at halftime. In the first half, Eric Ravelette had 9 for the Eagles. Chaz Hendricks had 4, and I'll get to the rest of them later. Here comes Justin Lowe now with the ball for the Heat to start the second half. On the far side of the court, Justin Lowe inbound the ball for the Heat. He gets it in to Mike Lane. Lane has the ball on the dribble. Crosses the timeline, goes to the left, now back to his right. Shot from the right side of the free throw stripe. Nice shot by Mike Lane to start out the second half here for the Heat. 14-26, 26-14. The score. Here comes Shane Cooper down the floor now for the Eagles. Gives it off to Woodall. Underneath. That goes left side, up and in by Hendricks. Chaz Hendricks picks up his 6th point from the field, 28-14. Here comes Justin Lowe now down the field for the Miami Heat. Gives it off to Bolin. Norman Bolin on the right side. Dribbles baseline right. Looks for someone underneath the pass to. Gets it off to Anderson. Anderson wants to take the shot. He does off the back of the backboard. Ball pulled down by the Eagles. That's Chaz Hendricks taken away by the Heat. Put up, no good. Rebound fought for. Finally pulled down by Troy Woodall. Woodall in the backcourt trying to get rid of the ball. He does to Andy Dennison. Dennison up court to Shane Cooper. Cooper goes left side now. Pass down low to John Hayden. Nice pass and nice shot from Cooper to Hayden. That's John's first bucket of the afternoon. 30-14. Here's our score. The Heat trailing by 16 and had the ball taken away by John Hayden. Hayden for the Eagles gets it across the timeline now to Cooper in the right side. Shane goes baseline right, lays it up. Nice move, nice shot, but won't go. Rebound pulled down by, the foul underneath. Pulled down by the Eagles, Chaz Hendricks, but a foul underneath. And Hendricks will go to the line to shoot a couple. 4:33 to go in this third quarter. And that foul was on Mark Hendricks. So Chaz Hendricks at the line with 6 points now. He's been to the line twice this afternoon so far, hit 1 out of those 2. And this one is up and in. 2 out of 3 from the stripe this afternoon for Chaz Hendricks. Gives the Eagles a 31-14 lead. Hendricks' second shot up. Again, good. 32-14 with 4.5 to go in the third quarter as the Heat come down the floor. Justin Lowe on the far side. Is picked up at the half-court line. Pass into Lane. Lane has the ball on the right side of the court. Mike dribbles in the lane. Has it almost taken away. Now give off to Bolin. Bolin has it loose. Now picked up by Hayden. Hayden to Cooper. Cooper tripped. Comes across the timeline. Down past the Hendricks. Hendricks up and good. Chaz Hendricks. Nice shot on a nice pass from Shane Cooper. 34-14. A 20-point lead now by the Eagles. Here come the Heat down the floor. As across the timeline goes Norman Bolin. Bolin gets it off to Mike Lane. Lane in the lane, lays it up left side. It's good. Nice shot by Mike Lane. He has 4 points from the field in the afternoon. As Shane Cooper gets the ball across the timeline, Andy Stacura ready to check in. Cooper being picked up by Lowe. Now gets off to Hayden. Back to Cooper. Shane down low to Dennison. Up and good. Nice pass again. These guys work that ball very well. Ravelette and Heddy ready to check in too. 36-16. Eagles on top. Down the floor come the Heat. Cross court, Mike Lane with the ball. Stops at the left side of the lane. Gives it off to Bolin. He takes it underneath, puts it up, and no good. Rebound pulled down by Dennison for the Eagles. Eagles to Hayden, and Hayden is fouled by Mike Lane. Substitution now, Jordan Scott also comes into the ball game for the Heat. 3:17 to go in the third quarter. A 36-16 lead in this championship game of the 5th and 6th grade division YMCA co-ed basketball tourney. As Stacura gets it into Woodall. Troy across the timeline quickly. Right side. Stops. Pops. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Heat. Brought out from under the basket by Mike Lane. Lane crosses the timeline. Goes to the right side. Holds it up over there. Now he takes it toward the bucket. Passes off to Jordan. Jordan Scott underneath. Nice shot by Scott. Stacura with the ball now for the Eagles on a pass from Ravelette. Secure down low to Hetty. Hetty with a shot up, no good. Rebound fought for and tied up underneath. The dual possession rule will give it over to the Eagles with 2:41 to go in the third quarter. As Eric Ravelette will take it out under his own basket. Sets up play number 2. Looks for someone to pass it to. Gets it into Hetty left side. He puts it up and no good, but he's fouled on the play. Had to force that shot up, and that foul was on Mark Hendricks, and that'll send Charles Hetty to the free throw stripe. Charles had 2 points in this afternoon's ball game. He has 4 so far today in the championship game. His first time at the line, eyes the bucket, puts it up, and it's good. Hits the front of the rim, back of the rim, and falls through. So he's 1 for 1 from the free throw stripe this afternoon. Here's his second attempt. It's up. It's also good. Gives the Eagles another 20-point lead, 38-18, 2:35 to go in this third quarter of the championship game as the Heat tries to get it down the floor. That's Norman Boland, gets it across the timeline, and has it almost taken away. A whistle and a foul called on the Eagles. That'll be on Eric Ravelette. 2:27 to go in this third quarter. No, take that back. That was on number 10 for the Heat. That was Jordan Scott, so it'll give the ball over to the Eagles. Sorry about that, Eric. As they try to get it underneath, and his ball's taken away by Mike Lane, given off to Norman Boland. Boland gives it off to Justin Lowe. Lowe crosses the time stripe. Still has the ball on the dribble. Now passes down low to Anderson. Anderson takes it baseline right side, almost loses it, picks it back up, gives it off to Jordan Scott. Scott fires. It's good. Nice shot by Jordan Scott. He has 4 points now. And here comes Troy Woodall down the court for the Eagles. He's fast. He crosses the timeline, holds it up on the right side of the wing, gives it to Eric Ravelette. Ravelette to Stakira. Andy, left side, free throw stripe up, no good. Rebound pulled down by John Hayden on the left side baseline. Wants to put it back up. He doesn't. Passes it down low to Hetty. Hetty puts it up. It won't go, but he's fouled again by Mike Lane. And here comes Shane Cooper back into the lineup for the Eagles, as well as Chaz Hendricks. Hendricks and Cooper as John Hayden sits down. And Eagles need to pull one more out of there. There goes Troy Woodall out for the Eagles. Pass comes in, down low from Ravelette to Chaz Hendricks. Hendricks puts shot up, won't go, and the Heat, Justin Lowe, pulls it down. 1:30 to go in the third quarter. 38-20, the Eagles on top as the Heat crosses the timeline. That's Norman Boland at the free throw stripe. Puts it up right side, no good. Rebound is loose, fought for underneath, and finally pulled down by Chris Anderson. A whistle on the play, and foul called on Andy Stakira of the Eagles, and the ball comes in, knocked out of bounds again. It'll be the Heat ball out with 1:17 to go in the third quarter. Heat trying to get it in. Comes in to Anderson. Anderson has it taken away by Eric Ravelette. Ravelette all alone in front. Goes left now, tries to go down the middle of the lane, but he's fouled by Chris Anderson. Ravelette on a good steal, and Anderson fouled him. 1:05 to go in the third quarter. Ravelette to take the ball out of bounds under his own basket. Sets up play number 1. Gets it in to Hendricks. Chaz puts it up and good. 10 points from the field, 3 from the stripe for Chaz Hendricks. He has 13 now. He had 13 this afternoon. The ball comes in, and on an attempted steal, Hendricks goes down hard as Chuck Hetty comes in to check on him. Chaz tried to make the steal. I think he tripped on the Miami Heat offensive player's shoe, and that was Norman Boland, as Justin Lowe gets ready to inbounds the ball again. Looks for Boland, gets it into Boland. He has it now. Comes down the court to Ted Nolting. Nolting almost has the ball taken away by Cooper, but he passes back across the 10-second line. And smart, the defensive play by Cooper, caused that turnover. Less than a minute to go now in the third quarter. It's a 20-point lead for the Eagles as Cooper gets it in to Andy Stakira. Stakira goes right side now, baseline off the fingertips of Chaz Hendricks. Check that. That's Charles Hetty. And out of bounds. Justin Lowe inbounds it for the Miami Heat. Has the ball deflected by Hendricks. Hendricks puts it up and good. Nice defensive play by Chaz Hendricks. He has 15 points now on the afternoon. The Heat gets it into Justin Lowe from Boland. Lowe still has the ball. Picks up his dribble. Gets across the timeline now to Ted Nolting. Nolting spins and passes it back to Boland. Boland, left side, puts it up. Won't go. Rebound, Ravelette underneath. Eric pulls it out, and that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Eagles 42 and the Miami Heat 20. in that third quarter. Chaz Hendricks really came alive. He picked up 4 field goals and 2 from the free throw stripe for a total of 10 points in the third quarter. Also adding points for the Eagles in the third quarter was Charles Hetty. He had 2. Both of those came from the stripe. And Andy Dennison picked up another bucket in the third quarter for the Eagles, giving him a total of 8 on the afternoon. For the Heat, Miami Heat, coached by Dave Ravelette, there are 4 points by Mike Lane in that third quarter. Also 4 points by Jordan Scott. So Scott and Lane are the only 2 that scored in the third quarter for the Heat, while the Eagles had 1, 2, 3 players score in that third period. So the final period of the championship game here at the YMCA Co-Ed Basketball Tourney, the 5th and 6th grade division, has 1 more quarter to go, with the Eagles on top of the Heat, 42-20. There's the buzzer, which brings both teams back out onto the floor. We've really enjoyed bringing you these ball games. We hope you enjoyed watching them. 42-20 is our score. As the Eagles, we see Andy Dennison and Chaz Hendricks, Charles Hetty, Andy Stakura, and Troy Woodall on the floor. For the Eagles, Ted Knowlting, Justin Lowe, Jordan Scott, Mike Lane, and Mark Hendricks on the floor for the Heat. Justin Lowe gets it in to Mike Lane. Lane pops it right side. Good. Nice shot by Mike Lane to start off this fourth quarter. He did the same thing in the third quarter. Got it started off for the Heat. Here comes Woodall's pass to Stakura. Stakura across the timeline for the Eagles. Passes off to Dennison off his fingertips and out of bounds. Going to be out of bounds to the Heat with 5:35 to go in the ball game and down by 20. Justin Lowe gets it in to Mike Lane. Lane on the dribble. Crosses the time stripe. He goes for the lane. Stops at the free throw stripe. Gets it off to Jordan Scott. Scott left side fadeaway jumper won't go. Rebound loose. Pulled down by Ted Knowlting. Knowlting back up. No good. Rebound by Charles Hetty. Hetty brings the ball down by himself. Takes it across the time stripe. Right in front of us to Stakura underneath. Andy pops it up. It's no good. Not quite hard enough, Andy. Pulled down by Hendricks. And now it goes out of bounds off the fingertips of Mark Hendricks. As we have another substitution now for the Miami Heat, Norman Bolin. Bolin comes into the ballgame for the Heat, and Knowlting sits down as Chaz Hendricks gets the ball in to Troy Woodall. Woodall stops, pops, no good. Rebound, pull down. Dennison back up and good. Andy Dennison with a total of 10 points on the afternoon. 44-22 is the lead for the Eagles with 4:50 to go in the ball game as the Heat brings it down the court. Justin Lowe gets it in to Norm Bolin. Bolin across the timeline. Right side stops there to Mike Lane on the right side outside. Loses the control of the ball, picks it up in the lane. Wants to pass it off, can't get it away. Now he does, but a 3-second violation called before he does. 4.5 to go in the ball game as the ball goes out to Andy Stakura of the Eagles championship game. Gets it in to Charles Hetty. Hetty crosses the timeline, goes to the right side. Hetty to Stakura, top of the key, free throw stripe, jumps and pumps. It's good. Nice shot by Andy Stakura. 46-22 with 4:10 to go in the ball game. The Heat get it in. Ravelette ready to come in as Lowe gets it in to Norm Bolin. Bolin on the right side, back to Justin Lowe. Lowe on the dribble, right side, stops baseline, puts it up. No good. Rebound. Tipped around, still tipped around, now being fought for, pulled down by Troy Woodall. Given back to Dennison. Dennison gets it across the timeline. Fight for the ball. Stakura and Scott go after it. And there's a whistle and a timeout called. Both Stakura and Scott race for the ball. Both hit the floor. As Ravelette goes in for Chaz Hendricks. Woodall will take the ball out of bounds under their own basket. 3:48 to go in the ball game. 46-22 Eagle lead. Woodall gets it into Hetty. Hetty to Stakura. Stakura to Woodall. Left side. Pops it. Good. Nice shot by Troy Woodall. His first bucket. Every one of the Eagles have scored this afternoon. 48-22. 3:35 to go in the ball game. Here come the Heat. Mike Lane, right side. Pops it from there. It's partially blocked by Woodall. Picked up by Scott. Jordan. Fadeaway jumper left side. No good. Ball's picked up by Woodall underneath. Troy tries to bring it out. A reach-in foul called on Norman Bolin. 3:20 to go in this ball game. 48-22 is our score. The championship game of the 5th and 6th grade division. The YMCA Co-Ed basketball. As Stakura tries to get in, he does to Hetty. Hetty down the court to Dennison. Andy has the ball, lays it up. Oh, loses control. He almost laid it up. Ball loose and fought for. And Mark Hendricks and and Cooper fight for the ball, or Woodall rather fight for the ball. Justin Lowe to get it in for the Heat. Heat comes down the court. Jordan Scott. Jordan left side has the ball knocked out of bounds, out of his hand, and will be out of bounds to the Heat. Jordan Scott inbound the ball with 2:48 to go in the ball game. Scott gets it in right side to Hendricks. Shot up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Hetty. Hetty has the ball knocked out of bounds out of his hands by Justin Lowe. And it'll be the Eagles ball out of bounds. Charles Hetty gets it in to Dennison. Justin Lowe trying to catch Dennison. He does. Gets the pass over to Hetty. Charles crosses the timeline, picked up by Jordan Scott. Charles tries to drive around him. Gets ball over to Stakura. Andy in the lane, passes down low to Ravelette. Left side, good. Nice shot by Ravelette. A nice pass by Stakura. These guys work well as a team. 50-22 with 2:05 to go in this contest. Lowe crosses the timeline now for the Miami Heat. Gets it to Norman Boland. Boland left side to Mike Lane. He's in the lane, left side of the lane. In the wing over here, guarded by Woodall. Now pass to Justin Lowe in the lane. Turn around, put it up, no good. Rebound, Jordan Scott. Back up right side, it's good. Nice shot again by Jordan Scott. That's his 6th point of the game. As Woodall gets it into Hetty. Hetty to Stakura, and he fakes and gets it across the timeline. Still on a dribble, and Jordan Scott is called for reaching in violation. Clock stops with 1:40 to go in the contest. A 50-24 lead for the Eagles over the Miami Heat. As John Hayden checks in for the Eagles, and Charles Hetty will get a break. Chaz Hendricks, I guess the ankle's okay. He comes back in with out any kind of a limp. Here comes Shane Cooper checking back in for the Eagles. Troy Woodall sets down. Ted Knowlton comes in for the Heat. Jordan Scott sits down. And we're going to have a free throw shoot here in just a minute. As Andy Stakura, he had 6 points on the afternoon earlier today. He has 2 now. He hasn't been to the stripe yet. This is his first time there, and he cans the first one. So he's perfect from the free throw stripe. It gives him 3 points on the afternoon of the night. Here's a second shot. It's up and no good. Rebound pulled down by the Heat. Mark Hendricks pulled the rebound down, gives it off to Justin Lowe. Lowe, with 1:30 to go in this basketball game, his team trailing 51-24, gives it off to Norman Boland left side. Boland in the lane, puts it up off the glass. It's good. Nice move. Nice spin by Norm Boland. As the Eagles come down the court, Dennison to Stakura. Andy across the timeline, top of the key, left side of the free throw stripe. Passes cross court to Hayden. Hayden puts it up baseline right. Nice shot by John Hayden. 1:05 to go in the ballgame. 53-26. Justin Lowe taking the time, getting it across the timeline. On the right side, he's across there now. Picked up by Ravelette. Now a pass picked up by Chaz Hendricks. Hendricks all the way, lays it up. Right side off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound by Hayden. Back up, and it's no good. Ravelette rebound left side. Back up, and it's good. Eric has 13 points on the afternoon. Less than a minute to go now in the basketball game. Both teams are pretty well worn out. The timeout called by Dave Ravelette, the coach of the Miami Heat. The coaches of the Eagles, John Stakura, Chuck Hetty. So with only 40 seconds to go, it looks as though the Eagles will be crowned the 5th and 6th grade division YMCA co-ed basketball champions in the game this evening. As I mentioned before, we really enjoyed bringing you these games, and of course the game before saw the 3rd and 4th grade division saw the Evansville Aces get the crown for the 3rd and 4th grade division over the Bulldogs by the score of 38-35. So we've had that first game especially was a tight game, dip and tuck all the way. And this game, a little different, but still some good basketball. This YMCA program, a very good program for all the boys and girls and families in the Knox County area, Vincennes, and the surrounding county. We wanted to get a chance to talk to Ron Alexander, but the time did not permit. 40 seconds to go in this basketball game as both teams come back out on the floor now. For the Eagles, it's Troy Woodall, Shane Cooper, Eric Ravelette, Andy Dennison, and Chaz Hendricks. For the Heat, it's Ted Knowlton, Mark Hendricks, Chris Anderson, Jordan Scott, and Mike Lane. The Heat to take the ball out of bounds under the Eagles basket. Lane gets it into Nolting. Ted back to Mike Lane on the right side. Lane crosses the time stripe. Goes at the top of the key. Now in the lane. Takes it all the way. Lays it up left side, and it's good. Nice basket by Mike Lane. He has 8 points on the afternoon. 25 seconds to go in the contest. Shane Cooper is blocked by Jordan Scott. And it was, Scott was being very aggressive, but not overly aggressive. It was a good, clean foul. So Cooper will go to the line with 21 seconds to go in the basketball game. 55-28 lead for the Eagles. Shane has 2 points on the afternoon so far. That came on a field goal in the second period. This is his first time at the stripe. Lets it go, in and out, no good. Rebound, Ravelette, right side, back up, and no good. Rebound, fought for. Finally, a foul called on Eric Ravelette. 17 seconds to go, as the Heat will take it out under the Eagles' basket. Ted Nolting gets it in to Jordan Scott. Jordan across the timeline now. Right at center court. Looks at the clock, which says 10 seconds to go. Might be the last shot of the game. Jordan wants it. Scott passes in the lane. Ball is loose. Scramble for it. Nolting has it. Now Lane, left side. Mike Lane puts it up at the end of the buzzer. That's the end of the ball game. The final score, and the champions of the 5th and 6th grade division for the YMCA co-ed basketball tourney, the Eagles, 55-28 over the Miami Heat. Again, we want to congratulate the Eagles, Eric Ravelette, Andy Stakura, Chaz Hendricks, John Hayden, Charles Hetty, Shane Cooper, Troy Woodall, and Andy Dennison. And, of course, their coaches, John Stakura and Chuck Hetty. Also, the Heat played a very valiant game. They played very well to get to the final championship game. They include Chris Anderson, Mike Lane, Mark Hendricks, Jordan Scott, Norman Boland, Ted Nolting, and Justin Lowe, and their coach, Dave Ravelette. For the Eagles, in the total scoring category, Eric Ravelette had 13 points on the evening. Andy Stakura with 3 points. Charles Hendricks entered the game with a whopping 15 points.